This conference will now be recorded.
So all of you, please open your AWS management consoles. So this is your management console. So go to awseducate.com and start your account. And by clicking on AWS account, AWS console, you will be redirected to this console, AWS management console. So all of you, please open this console. So we need to start our server. Yesterday we have launched our Ubuntu operating system, right? So we need to start that server. So by starting only, so we can practice our practical works. So is everyone open this one? Shall I continue? So can I get quick responses? Fine. So from this management console, in which service we have worked on yesterday? By using which service we launched our Ubuntu operating system? EC2. Now how to open that EC2 console? You will find that in recently visited services. Or else if you click on services in the top left side of the page, you will find that service as well. So you will get a recently visited service here, or else just click on services, and under the compute section you will find EC2 service. Just click on EC2 service. After clicking on EC2 service, you will be redirected to EC2 management, EC2 dashboard. So this is the EC2 dashboard. From this EC2 dashboard, you will find instances here. Just look at the screen. So in the middle of the page, you will find instances here. Yesterday we stopped our instance, right? We need to start that instance. So here you will find instances running. Yesterday you didn't, if you didn't stop your server, you will be find here instances running is 1. Yesterday I stopped my server, so that's why it is showing as 0. So that stopped servers are placed in these instances. Just click on these instances. So there is our servers. So what is our server? Ubuntu shell server. Select that server and go to instance state here. Go to instance state and start the instance. And start the instance. So you will find the message as successfully started, and we need to get the status as instance status running. So this is the refresh icon. Just click on this refresh icon. Your server will be in running state. So after a few seconds, see my server is up and running now. And select your server. Select your server. We need to connect to our instance, right? So under this, you will find public IPv4 address. Just copy the IPv4 address. If you didn't find it here, so let's expand this one. So might be you will be in this mode. So if you click on the middle one or else the last one, so your panel will be expanded. So expand your panel and copy your public IPv4 address. Copy. Now open PuTTY. So yesterday we downloaded PuTTY and PuTTY-Gen. So this is my PuTTY. This is my PuTTY, and give the IP address as hostname. So I'm pasting my IP address as hostname. And after that, what we have to do? Should I click on open? So can I get a quick responses? Should I click on open directly, or should I do something else? Nice. SSH. And after that, good. AUTH. So we need to authenticate our server with the key pair we have connected. Created. Just click on AUTH and browse your key. My key was that batch 3. So that batch 3, select that batch 3 ppk file and click on open. And again click on open. So before going to that one, I'm changing the appearance. Just click on change. So bold and 16 it is. So it is asking for a prompt and click on accept. Is it visible fine? Is it fine, or should I increase the font size? Fine. So what is the username here? We need to connect. So what is the username should we need to connect?
Ubuntu.
Yes, Ubuntu. Login as Ubuntu. Just type Ubuntu and hit enter. So you will be connected to your Ubuntu operating system. Okay. Now I'm just clearing the screen by using a clear command. Clear and hit enter. So you will clear all your previous data. So now here I am connected with the Ubuntu system. So now I want to update my system. So how can I update? So any answers from your end? So I want to update my operating system. So I mean whatever the packages that is already installed in Ubuntu operating system, I want to update them. How to update? So by using sudo update -y. So that is the command to update the packages inside of your operating system. Enter. So you need to give apt also, sudo apt update -y. Sudo apt update y. So previously we got the error, command not found. So I have given mistake. So this is the command we need to give, sudo space apt space -y. So I just posted that in a chat box as well. So that is the command, and if you enter, so your server will be updated. So is it updating in your systems? So it will be updated. And next, I'm just clearing the screen again. Now if anything we want to do from this user, it can't be possible. We need to suppose I'm just installing one more application, sudo apt install Apache
Sir,
2
command not found తర్వాత ఏం టైప్ చేయాలి సార్?
sudo apt update -y. I just
Sir,
posted in
okay,
chat
sir.
box. Please copy that and use that.
Okay, sir.
Suppose here I want to install any some application in my Ubuntu operating system. So let's see what happens here. So it is installing. So might be it is in so root mode. So before going to this one, we need to change to the root mode. So how to change the directory? So I'm just clearing the screen. So how to change the directory? So what is the command to change the directory? CD. So in Linux operating system, we can change the directory by using the command CD. So but in this one, so operating system is connected with the username. So then we have to connect with the root mode. So how to connect to the root mode? Sudo su space hyphen. If you give sudo space su space hyphen, so you will be directly connected to the root mode. So why means what are the updations or what are the modifications that we are trying to do? We need to do all of them in root mode only. So not in the user prompt. We need to change to root mode, root user. Sudo space su space hyphen. If you give that command, you will be connected to the root mode. So let's execute this one. So now look at the screen. So previously, before giving this command, so we are in Ubuntu. So after giving this command, so we have changed it to root mode. Fine. And one more thing is, so before giving this command, so we are in dollar prompt. And after entering this one, so we change it to hash prompt. So we need to change to root mode always. So I'm just clearing screen again. So we will start our shell scripting work. So now I want to assign some variables. So with some numbers. Now I just wanted to assign a to something value. So that is this I'm assigning. And if I execute this one, so command not found. And if you didn't use that spaces, see there. So don't use the spaces, just execute without spaces. So I'm assigning a equals to 20. So 20 number, I'm assigning the variable a. Now how to find out that a? How to find out that a value? So I want to print that a value. Cat. So let us check with the cat space a. So what it shows? So one of our prints is print a. So let us check with that also. Print a. So we are getting errors. Echo. Echo. So what should I give? Echo a. So what it prints there? So I want to print value of that a. So I don't want to print a. I don't want to print that variable. So I just want to print a variable value. So for that, we have to use echo dollar that variable. If you use echo space dollar that variable name, if you give, so value will be find out. Got it? So simply we can assign something value to any variable, and if you want to print that variable value, so we can use echo dollar that variable name. Similarly, we can use b as well. So b, I'm assigning 30. So I want to print that one as well. Echo $b. So understood? So that is one of the shell script command, echo. So now in real-time instance, in real-time scenarios, so suppose if you given user prompt, user permissions you have given, so at that time you need to find out something values. Suppose take for example, so this is your EC2 console, right? from this console, you need to find out what is the IP address of your instance, or else what is the instance ID of your operating system, or else something. So what is the AMI ID of your operating system? You need to find out that by using the script. So how to find out that IP address or else something instance ID? How will you find out? So without seeing your graphical user console. So without seeing your graphical user console, you need to get it by using script. How will you get that? So by using non-routable IP. So that non-routable IP is curl space http ://169.254.169.254 slash latest slash meta-data. So this is the non-routable IP address. Okay, so by using this non-routable IP address, we can get all of the AWS EC2 instance details. Okay, so I'm just posting this in chat box. Just use that. So curl space http://169.254.169.254 slash latest slash meta-data. So if you use that command, so entire details of your instance will be find out. So see there, AMI ID and instance ID, local IPv4, public IPv4, and all of these. Okay, so now we need to find out these details. So as details, AMI ID it is here, right? So AMI ID, and if you you can find it's in AMI ID here. Where is it? So this is AMI ID. This is the AMI ID. We need to get this one by using script, or else I want to print public IPv4 address, or else I want to print instance ID by using script only. Got it? So for that we can use non-routable IP address. So this is a non-routable IP address. By using this one, we can do we can get the instance details. Got this? Now I'm just clearing the screen again. Right? So this is my, if you click on if you press up arrow, your previous commands will be displayed. Just use the up arrow. So whatever the previous commands you have executed, that will be appeared. So curl space http://, so that non-routable IP address. Now I want to get that particular IP address. So how to get that public IP address? So here it is the metadata, and if you print if you use the command as, so metadata slash public IPv4, public IPv4. Let's execute this one. See, so I got my public IPv4. So this is the 18.18.207.119.23. So let's check which is correct or not. So this is one. See there, 18.207.119 and 23. So that is my IPv4 address. In this way we can find out any instance details, or else I want to get a instance ID. Right? So first I am executing this one. So this is my previous command. Okay, and if I execute this one, so I want to get a AMI ID here. AMI ID. or else instance ID I want to get. So where is instance ID? This is instance ID. So just select that one. It will be auto copied. Control C, Control V won't work in PuTTY and command modes. Just select that option. It will be auto copied. Now, so use the previous command, curl space http:// that non-routable IP address, meta-data slash, and if you right click, so instance ID will be posted. After giving instance ID, you will get that ID as well. So this is my instance ID. So I'm clearing again. So this is my previous command, instance ID. This instance ID I want to get. So what is the instance ID? So this is my instance ID, I-0DFF, something the last one is C07. So let's find out that is correct or not. So this is my instance ID. So by using that one, we can change the, we can see the values. So whatever the values it is having, so we can find out all the things. Got it? So or else I want to do this one as a simple in a simple manner. So suppose I'm just assigning public ID. So I'm just assigning public IP address is equals to, I'm assigning that one to one variable. So total this one is so let me copy that one first. So this is my one. So I'm just copying this one. So always I don't need to want to this one command. So I don't want to type this entire command. So I'm just making it as a simple. So I'm just copied this entire command. I just copied this entire command and I'm assigning to some variable. So that variable is called as PIP. So public IP I'm just assigning. PIP public IP equals to dollar open braces and paste that entire command. So this is the command. So I will post this in chat box. Just use this one. So that is the command. If you use that one, so entire your public IPv4. So IP address your instance will be assigned to this variable, public IP. Now let's execute this one. So it is executed. So now how to find out that public IP value? I want to print that IP value. So by using echo dollar PIP, and if you execute that one, instance ID will be get. Got this? So I just assigned all that command to one variable called PIP, public IP. Don't get confused. So first we will use this command. So what is that command? So this is the non-routable IP address. So by using this non-routable IP address, I want to get instance ID. So for getting the instance ID, so that is the command. So after meta-data slash, we want to give our required element, instance ID I want. So that is why I am assigning instance ID. Or else if I want instance public IPv4, I can give public IPv4 as well. So this is public IPv4. I just assigned all that command to one variable. Got it? So this is the way of assigning something to our variable. Fine. So can I get quick responses? Fine up to now? So that is the basic non-routable IP address. So by using that non-routable IP address, we can get our instance details. So our server details. Fine. So now we will move forward. So little deeper into shell scripting. Now I want to create a shell script file. How to create a shell script file? So let me clear the screen first. Clear. So now I want to create one sample shell script file. So how to create a sample files? How to create? Yes, Nano. So Nano and VI are the editors. So by using Nano, we can create files. Nano space. So file name that you want to create. So I'm just giving as sample.sh. Sample.sh I'm just given. So are you able to follow? So is it okay with you, or else I'm just moving speed? So I think it's fine. So nano space sample.sh. So got this up to now? So now I want to print the instance details in a script manner. So by using nano space sample.sh, I'm creating one file by using nano editor. Just enter that one. So you will be redirected to the editing mode. So now enter your script there. So to enter your script, we need a main file. So main line. So hash not. So that is the main file /bin/bash. So that is the main file we need to get. So previously we have got the IP address in a single manner, single command. So now I just wanted to do in a script manner. So I want to write a script file and I want to get that instance IP address by using a script file. Right? So this is the basic line. So this one is the most important one. So this is the shebang. So hash not the shebang file and binary files, and we are using bash shell. And next, enter. Click on enter. Now I'm just assigning the previous one. So what is the previous one? The previous command. So my command is that one. Public IP equals to $ open braces http :/ that non-routable IP address. /latest/ meta-data / public -IPv4 and close that one. Enter. And after that I want to print that public IPv4 address. Now how to print that IPv4 address? Echo space. So I'm just writing a message. So my instance or else Ubuntu instance IP address is that variable $PIP. And close the double quotes. Got it? So we can't use the double quotes, just remove the double quotes. So is it work? Will it work? So can I get quick responses? Will it work? Should I give double quotes or not? Okay, we will try with by putting double quotes. Enter. Now I want to save this file. So how to save this file? How to save this file? Just press Ctrl X and press Y and hit enter. You will be out from that editing mode. You will be out from that editing mode. Now I want to execute this sample.sh file. I want to execute that sample.sh file. How to execute shell scripting files? How to execute shell script files? So by using bash space that file name, or you can use /sample.sh. So both the commands you can do. So one is bash space that sample that file name, bash space sample.sh, or else you can give this one as well, /sample.sh. And if you try to execute, so what it shows there? Permission denied. So may I know why this error came? So any answers from your end? So why this error came? Permission denied. Why?
రైట్ పర్మిషన్ ఇస్తారు సార్, మనము ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వాలి దానికి.
Sorry,
ఓన్లీ రీడ్ అండ్ రైట్ పర్మిషన్స్ ఉంటాయి సార్, దానికి మనం ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యే పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వాలి.
so we have to change that files. So now check what are the permissions it is having. So first I am going with ls sample.sh. So yesterday I have created files. So where is that files? Where is that files? Yesterday I have created file 1 directories file 1, file 2, file 3, and files are file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4. So that is the files I have created. Where are that files? Yes, in Ubuntu. So I today we are working on root mode. So in the yesterday we have worked on Ubuntu. So in Ubuntu user you can see. So if we use whoami command, so it shows the particular user. So yesterday we have worked on Ubuntu. So that is why we are not getting that files. So now if you type ll to check permissions, if you type ll for permissions. So it is our file sample.sh. So what it is having? So file permissions. Basically, so each and every file has some content, some permissions. Okay, so read permission it is having, write permission it is having, and execute permission it is having. Okay, so these are the permissions each and every file is having. Okay, and so before that, for each and every read, write, execute permissions, so we have owner, group, others, or end users. Okay, so for each and every owner, read, write, execute permissions it is having. For group as well, it is having read, write, execute permissions, and for end users as well, it is having read, write, execute permissions. Okay, and these permissions are so for read option it is so what it is? Do you know what is your permissions for read? Yes, for read 4, and for write it is 2, and for execution it is 1. So for group also, it is having 4, and for write it is 2, and for execute it is having 1. And next for others as well, 4 for read, 2 for write, and 1 for execute. Now how we can write it as a symbolic representations? So read is for R, so R means read, and for write and for execute X. Got this? For each and every read, write operations it is having these symbolic representations: read, write, execute. And next, read, write, executions. Okay, so in the previous one, so what it is having, this is our file, our sample.sh file. So what is it is having? This is, these are the first 3. So this this hyphen is a file, the sample.sh is a file, so that's it is showing hyphen, or else it is a directory, it shows with the D. Okay, or else sometimes it will be get it as a link in place of a hyphen or D, so it will be link. So if it is having hyphen, it is a file, or else if it is D, it is a directory. If it is having L, it is a link, and followed by the user permissions. So there you will find sample.sh it is. So this is the file, the first hyphen is a file, and next 3 are, so what is it is having? Read, write, hyphen. So let us do that one also. So it is having read, write, hyphen, and next one read, hyphen, hyphen. So next what is next one also read, hyphen, hyphen. So for this file, so the first three are for owner group under the owner, and next three are under groups, and the next three are end users or others. Got it? So here the file is only read and write. So read and write permissions only it is having. So it doesn't have execute permissions. So that is why we are getting this permission denied error. Got it? So as our file is having only read write permissions, so that's why we got that permission denied error. Now we need to change that permission. So how to change that permission? For owner and for group and for end user as well, we need to change that permissions. But in real time scenarios, we can't give the execute permissions to the users. Suppose I am the root admin, I am the admin for my application. So I just wanted to give you the permission. If I give you the root permissions, so might be you forgot about that one, or you changed that permissions. The total entire application will be gone. So for users, we always need to give the user permissions only. So do not give execute permissions. Read and read permissions only we have to give. Fine. So for this one, so here what it is having, read write, it doesn't have execute permission. So we have to get this as, so for read what is having number 4, and for write it is 2, for write it is having 2, and so it is having a 0. So hyphen means so no permission it is having, 4 to 0. And for this one, for that one, read means 2, sorry, read means 4, and 2 hyphens means 2 zeros. It doesn't have any permissions. And for end user as well. So read means 4, that means 0. So those are the 5 permissions. So this is a symbolic representations. So this is a decimal representation, and this is a number representation. So we have to give the permissions as that either this one or we can give this one. So now the permissions as we need to change the permissions as, so read write execute permissions we have to give. So which number we can give for read write execute permissions? Seven, right? So we need to give 7. So 7 for owner, that file. So read write execute for owner, and read write execute for group, and read write execute for others as well. So we need to change that permission to all of them. So now the command as chmod, so that is a modification. So chmod, so I'm just assigning all permissions 777. So 777 in the sense the first 7 is for owner, and the second 7 is for group, and the last 7 is for others or end users. And 7 means, so for owner also I'm giving read write execute permissions, and for group also I'm giving read write execute permissions, and for others also I'm giving read write execute permissions. So that is chmod space 777 space your file name. So my file name was sample.sh. So this is the command we need to execute now. So I'm just copied this one and posted in a chat box also. So that is the command we need to execute. So now try for that one, chmod space 777 space sample.sh. So now observe. So before the executing this one, so this is the permissions it is having. only owner can read, write, and can't execute that file. So only owner can write that file. So remaining groups and others also can't execute that files or can't write that files. Now we are changing the permissions to the user. So all permissions we are changing. If you execute that one, so now check for LL. Go with LL command. So now see. So previously these are the permissions, and now after changing this one, so we got all read, write, execute permissions for all owners, for all groups, for all end users. So that is the permissions. Got it? So can I get responses? Say yes or no? So those are the file permissions. Got it? So out of 45 members, I'm getting 1 or 2 responses only. So I don't know what are you doing remaining. Okay, fine. So just I'm clearing the screen now.
What, sir?
So I'm just clearing the screen. So what is my file? Previous sample.sh. Now I want to execute that one. /sample.sh. Enter. So here we are getting error. So Ubuntu instance IP address is, I need to get the IP address. So why I'm not getting IP address there? Why I'm not getting IP address there? So now look at the code. So how to look at the code again? By using the same command, nano space sample.sh. So can anyone find out this error? So in the code, so we are having some error. So can anyone know? So what is that error? Is it empty? So I didn't get you. $pip not in quotes. Okay, fine. So we will try that one. So I think my putty got inactive, so it's not responding. Yes, it is working now. So now just remove the double quotes there and put it in up to this. So now will it execute? Let's try. So how to execute this one? How to exit from nano mode? Press Ctrl X, press Y and hit enter. Now execute again. /sample.sh. Enter. Still we are not getting. As you said, quotation is only for matter. So as you said, I did the same. So now open your code again. What is the error? Let us try deleting all this one. So I just removed all the double quotes. So what's the error? So shall we try this one? As you said. So press Ctrl X, press Y, and enter. Now execute this one. $/sample.sh. Or else don't need to type always. If you use up arrow, so your previous command will be appeared. Enter. Still we didn't get the address. So here Y means no such file or directory. Our error is in line 2. Okay, so how to find out that one? Now just get back to your file nanosample.sh. The problem is, so we need to give the curl here. Now try with double quotes. So it's not taking. Now try to execute this one. How to exit? Press Ctrl X, press Y, and hit enter. Now execute that again. So $/sample.sh. So did we get the IP address? Ubuntu instance IP address is that IP address we got. Got it? So done from your side. So we can use the double quotes as well. So nanosample.sh. So echo. We can use the double quotes as well. It is changing. So for this one, now will it execute? So press Ctrl X, press Y, and hit enter. Now try execute again. $/sample.sh. It's working. So Ubuntu instance IP address is that one. So are you able to follow? Clear up to now? Am I audible now, guys? Can you respond? Yes, fine. So I just lost power here. So I got a network error. So which means I have lost my internet connection. I need to restart my session. I just click on OK, and if you see putty is in inactive mode. How to activate that one? Just right click on your white space in your putty mode and click on restart session. So it is asking for login and type Ubuntu and enter. So it is successfully connected. Now I'm just clearing the screen. Clear. Now in root mode, right? We have created that sample file. So just to get back to that root mode, sudo space su space hyphen, and if you hit enter, so we will be get to root mode. Okay, so now press ls. So type ls. So this is the sample.sh. And if you want to look at the code again, nano space sample.sh. So this is the code. So I'm just posting in chat box for your reference. Just look at in chat box. I just posted. So understood after this? So we will create one more sample file. We can still use echo that pip if you want to look at that. Echo space dollar pip. So why it's not getting? Why it's not getting? So we restarted our session, right? We need to assign again. So what is that command? So pip equals to, I will just copy all that thing, right? So this is the command. So I'm just assigning that one, and if you execute that one, it's got a assigned. Now check for previous command, echo $pip. Now you will get. So my server has stopped, right? So my putty session got closed. So that is why we're getting that error. We didn't get a IP address previously. Clear up to now? Clear up to now? So can you please respond? Okay, fine. So now we will go with one more script file. We will go with one more script file. So I want to print the username. So how to print the username? I mean, what is the user that is having? So if you use who am I, that is the root. Okay, now I want to get this username by using script. I want to get this name by using script. Okay, how to do that? So for that we need to create one more script file. Okay, so use the command as how to create script file. Which command can I use? Which command will we use? Nano space. So this time I'm giving the file name as myscript.sh. This time I'm giving the file name as nano space myscript.sh. Or else you can give a sample 1 or sample 2 or else your name or something else. So I'm just giving myscript.sh. Enter. So now what is the main line here? Hash not shebang file we need to give /bin/bash. Okay. And enter. Now I want to print the username. So I am assigning one variable called IAM equals to dollar in braces who am I. Okay, and next I want to print that echo space. So I'm opening quotes. This script was executed by so ఇక్కడ ఎవరు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్నారు proved కదా so I'm using who am I as a variable dollar IAM. Right. So now what is the output will we get? So I want the output as this script was executed by IAM. So here who is the IAM? Who am I? So who am I means I am the root. So I need to get like that. Press Ctrl X, press Y and hit enter. Got it? So I will post that in chat box. That is the code. Now I want to execute that file. How to execute? So you can use bash also, bash space myscript.sh, or else you can use /file name also. Execute. So what is the output? This script was executed by root. So who am I means, so this is the root, this one. So you can use that // also, / myscript.sh. So what is it is asking for? So did you observe the difference? If you are using bash here, it is directly executing without any permission, without execute permissions. But if you use the // it is asking for permissions. So when we use bash, it will be directly executed. When we use // it is getting an error because of permissions denied. So we can change the permissions for this file also. chmod myscript.sh. So we need to give permission, right? 777. But make sure that in real-time scenarios you can't give 777 permission. So you can't give permissions to all the users. You have to give only the admins or groups. So sometimes you only need to give the permission for owners only. So you can't give read write execute permissions for groups and users as well. So for read only, for owners you can give 700, right? And if you execute this one, so now it will be executed. So use the up arrow /myscript.sh and execute. So you will get the output. So are you able to follow? So can I get quick responses? Fine. So I'm just clearing the screen here. Now we will create one more file. So for your practice purpose. So now try to create your name. So try to print your name. So previously we got the output as this script was executed by root. Now I want to get I want to get my name is this one. So like that I want to get. So can you try on that? So I want to get the name as my name is Rupesh Kumar. So I want to get my name as in the screen. So I am Rupesh Kumar. So like that I want to get the output. So can you get it? Or else your name. So will you try it, or so let me do that? Can I do that? Fine. So I'm just creating one more script file here. So nano space name.sh I'm assigning. Okay, nano space name.sh I'm creating a file. Enter. Now what is the first line we need to enter there? We need to type there. So what is the first line? So that is the mandatory to execute our shell script files or to write the shell script files. So what is the first line? Yes. So hash not /bin/bash. Okay. So now I want to get my name. So I'm assigning my name as first name and I'm assigning last name as well. Okay. Now I want to get my full name. Echo $. Now how to get that first name and last name? How to get that first name and last name? I want to print that first name and last name. My name is. How will I call that variable? How will I call that variable? Yes, $f name. $first name and $l name. Sorry. this one. Okay. Now try to execute that one. How to execute? Press Ctrl X, press Y, and hit enter. Now how to execute? /name.sh. So you have to give permission. chmod 777 name.sh. Now execute /name.sh. So got that name? So that is the name. Got it? Say yes or no. Can I get quick responses?
Yes, sir.
Only one or two or three are people responding. So I don't know remaining all are doing or not. So my sincere suggestion is please don't follow always recordings. So you better practice with me. So if you get errors, you can refer the recorded videos. Fine. Now we will discuss about debugging tools. So up to this clear, how to create files and how to execute script files. So any doubts after this? So everyone clear? Say yes or no. Fine. So next we will discuss about debugging tools. So we are having three types of debugging there. Set -n, set -x, set -v. So we will look at these ones. How to add two values in root. Sorry, I didn't get you, Pawan Kumar. How to add two values means? So we are having these files. So if you type ls, so we are having three files. So one is my script, name, and sample.sh. Okay. Now if you look at the file permissions, all three files are having read write execute permissions. So for my script.sh, for name.sh, and for sample file. So three are having read write execute permissions. right? So now I'm just copying these files to temporary folders, temp folders. Okay, I'm just copying one of my file. So let me clear this one. Clear. So I'm just copying by using cp command. Copy. So use the file myscript.sh2 /temp. I'm moving. I'm copying that file. Okay. So it is a copied to that one. Now if you check the permissions, ll space /temp if you give. See there? So myscript.sh. So in root mode, we given the permission as read write execute permission, but in temp folder, we didn't give the permissions. Okay, to understand the debugging tools, we are going to do this one. So we are doing this one. Okay. Now if you want to try to execute this one, so let us try with this one. So /temp/ myscript.sh. Got this? So you will get like this also. Or else if you want to see the file in /temp cd /temp, so you can find the file here also, ls. So this is our file, myscript.sh. So because previously we have copied that file to this temp. Okay, now clear the file. So clear the screen. I'm clearing the screen. So are you able to follow? Yes. So now I am exiting from this temp. So cd space ... So what will it give you? So you will be back to root mode. Okay. Now I'm exiting from root mode also. So I'm just typing exit. So I just came back to root mode here. Now type ll here. So what are the files we are having? Previously, those are the files we are having. Now, is it possible to change to that temp folder? So use the command as cd space /temp. So we entered into that temp. So now type ls. So you will get that file there. I'm just clearing the screen again. And next, so we want to see that files. So we already seen that files. So now I'm just changing to root mode again. So or else I'm just trying to execute from Ubuntu as well. So sudo space /temp slash that file name, myscript.sh. See, I have changed, I have executed this file in a 3 ways. So one is from root mode. So previously I'm in root mode. From root mode, I have executed the file as by using this one, only that one. After that, I have changed it to Ubuntu user. After that also, I can execute by using this command, sudo. Got it? So now I'm changing to root user, sudo space su space hyphen. Now I want to create a user there. So in root mode, I want to create user. So how to create user? How to create user? So any responses from your end? How to create user? Can you explain again? So I don't done anything confused. So I have just copied that my script file to this temp folder. So from that temp folder, I will execute my file by using this command, only this command. Okay, and after that, so I changed my user to Ubuntu. So that is the thing I have done. So don't get confused. So now how to add user? By using add user or user add. User add or add user. So what should I give to create user? So we need to give user add only. User add space hyphen m and your username. And I'm just giving the user as test user or else user one. Anything you can give it. You can give. User add space hyphen m space test user. Enter. So it is created. Now I want to create password as well. How to create password for the user? What is the command? So can I get responses? How to set password for the user? Hyphen p. So what is the command? What is the command should I enter there? Fine. To assign the password for the particular user. So before assigning user, I want to check that user is created or not. So how to check? So user is created or not? How to check? So any answers? I have created a test user here. I want to check whether this test user was created or not. How to check that? So by using the command cat space slash etc slash passwd. So that is the command. And if you enter that one, so you will get your file. You will see your user, test user. So created just now. And I'm just clearing the screen. How to set the password for the test user? passwd password we are setting space the test user. Okay, and if you enter, it is asking for password. Just type the password. You won't be seeing that password. You can't see. 1 2 3 4 5 6 I'm assigned. Enter and retype new password. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I'm just given a password. Password won't be visible. Enter. So what it shows there? Password updated successfully. Done. Now from this created user, I want to log in with another putty. So suppose I am the root, you are the user. So I have just given credentials to you. So you are the test user and I am the root. So I have just created you in my account, in my admin group. So now you need to check whether this user is working fine or not. So we have to try with that. So test user I have connected. So starting which username we have connected by using Ubuntu as the username. Now the username is this test user. So by using test user, we have to connect that one. Okay, so now take another putty. So how to take another putty? So just right click on top of the putty, right click on top of the putty and take a new session. Take a new session. Here host name. So host name as same. How we can connected previously the same way. So copy that IP address of your instance and paste it here. Paste. And next, assign the key as well. Authentication, browse, batch 3, open. So I'm just changing the appearance. And open. So login as. So what is our username here? What is our username? How to check user created or not? By using cat space /etc/passwd. By using that command, you can check the users. So this time, I have to connect with the newly created user, not the Ubuntu. So that is I have told you already. So in this, so look at the screen. So in this, I'm in root mode. As an admin, I have created a user. So consider real-time scenarios. So as an admin, I have created a user, which means you are the new joiner. You are the fresher in my office. Okay, so I have to create a user credentials for you. So for that, you need to check whether it is working or not. Login as now that username, test user. Okay, now try to execute that one. So what it shows? So no supported authentication methods available. So what is the error? May I know? May I know what is the error? So any answers from your end? Okay, so the reason is for the test user password authentication is defaultly it is in a no. Okay, so we should keep key. So we have uploaded that key as well. The reason is so defaultly the user password authentication will be set it as a no. I have uploaded key also. So might be you didn't see Krishna. I have uploaded that key as well. The reason is by defaultly all the users is having password authentication is no. We have to change that permission as well from the root mode. Got it? So I'm just closing this one. Okay, now we need to change that permission. So permission for the test user. So this is the test user we have created. Okay, so now to change that permission, nanospace slash etc slash ssh slash sshd hyphen config. We need to change this permission for the users in this path. Nanospace slash etc slash ssh is ssh slash ssh and sshd config. Right, now execute this one. So in this path we need to change the password authentication. So search for that password authentication. If you press Ctrl W, the search option will be there, and I am just trying to change password. I'm authentication. See there, this is one. So password authentication is set to no. We need to change this one. So I'm just changing this one. Yes, password authentication by default it is in no. We have to change that one. Now how to save this one? Press Ctrl X, press Y and hit enter. Okay, now try again by connecting with the one more putty. Now take a new session, right click on top of the putty, take a new session. So assign the IP address. So what is my IP address? So this is my instance IP address. Instance IP address, and I am uploading key also. SSH authentication, browse and upload your key. Open. Now login as. So what is the username? Test user. Enter. Still it's not getting. Why? Why means we need to restart our SSH as well. So close this one. So here we just modified this SSHD configuration file. So after modifying this one, we need to restart that one. So how to restart that session? We can use service SSH restart. Service SSHD restart. Now try to connect with the user. So right click on top of the putty, take a new session. So enter the IP address. Copy your IP address, and so here directly you can give test user also. Here itself you can give test user @ IP address. In this way also you can connect with that. And I'm uploading key. Open. So now connect with the test user as the username. Now you will be successfully connected. What is the password? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Enter. Connected. Now if you use who am I, so what is the user here? Test user. Got it? Got it? Now look for the files. So previous file it is having in this user or not. Just use the command ls space -al /temp. So if you execute that one, so you will get files as well. So under root only, I have created my script file, and after that I have created user, and I have shared the files to users as well. So this is the test user. So for the test user as well, so you will get the files. So whatever the files I have created in root admin, so root mode, you will get these files in the root as in the user as well. Okay. Now if you want to execute the file from here, just use let me change the font, change settings, appearance, change, okay. Okay, so I'm just clearing the screen. Okay, now I want to execute the script file. So sudo space /temp/ myscript .sh. Okay, now execute this one. So asking for password 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that is my password. Okay, so what is it showing here? Test user is not in the sudoers file. Okay, so why I'm getting this means, so it is the user, it doesn't have sudoers permission. We need to change that permission as well. Okay, so here we can use the command vi sudo. Okay, so vi sudo, and if you enter that one, so permission denied. Okay, so in the previous putty, so this is the test user, so this is the user, so that is why we are getting permission denied. Okay, now in root mode we can change this permission. In root mode we can change the permission. Okay, so now I'm just get back to the root mode. So here vi space sudo and enter. So you will get files like this. Okay, now under this, so my permission, my files are only executable in root mode only. Now I want to give permission to user as well. So here I'm assigning this one. So I'm just copying all this one. So here pasting. Okay, so now change this one to test user. Okay, now save this one. Control X, Y, and execute. Okay, now get back to the test user. So this is my test user. Now try to execute that one. Sudo space /temp/ myscript.sh. Execute. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So got this. So this script was executed by root. Okay, so understand up to this. So what we have done up to now, so we have created script files. So in this session we have done, so created script files and executed files as well, and changed permissions, sudo's permissions, and file permissions as well, and created users using script. So not script, we didn't done right. So created users using Linux commands. So in the next section we are able to create users by using script also, right? So any doubts?